Hey folks, welcome back to AAA Farms. James here. So we Saturday, October 26th, I believe is today's date. Relatively warm outside. It's mid 80s right now. It's been getting kind of colder and colder. We've been feeding hay. But what we're going to do in today's little video, I don't know how long it's going to take, but we're going to go brush hog the back 50 acres. We're just going to make a loop around it so that we can basically maintain that so we can fence it in, and then we'll figure out the rest of it whenever time comes, but at least we'll be able to fence it in. So the old tractor still ain't running. I got to get a new battery for it, so we're going to use the Kubota. But since we're using the Kubota, I'm going to put the bucket on it so we can try to knock down a lot of that brush before we run over it. And then I'm going to bring the little Bauer reciprocating saw to cut out any of the big stuff that we don't want to run over with the tractor. So I'm gonna get the bucket hooked up and all that good stuff, and then get back there and follow up with y'all then. Alright folks, we made it back to the very back of the property. As you can tell, you got some super tall stuff here and not so bad here. I have made passes around this before years ago with the old tractor, and then I did it once before with the Kubota, but I remember right, there's a tree up here that stopped me, which that's why I broke the reciprocating saw. But when you're doing this kind of stuff, you want that bucket on, and you want low as you can with that blade facing forward. What you'll find is it'll actually start it'll actually cut some of the bigger stuff and push a lot of stuff down too. We're in third gear now, but we'll end up dropping in second once we get into some other stuff. The trick is to just be cautious, take your time, and don't tear up the $50,000–$60,000 dirt board. Don't tear up the $50,000–$60,000 piece of equipment. Pop it in a second, taking it slow from here on. This right here is the tree that stopped me last time. I'm going to cut it with the Bauer saw really quick. take it slow through here. Get ready to go up with the brush hog if need be. It's been a minute since I've been through here. Oh, can't really see, but pretty good deal. Pretty good job. Idea is to get us a 10-foot wide path so we can come around here when we need to build fence in the future. Gotta cut that tree. Gonna have to cut that tree. It's a little bit too big for the brush hog. Alright, get that tree cut and knocked out of the way. And proceed forward again. Than we need to. Talk about stressful. I'd be a lot less stressed if I had the old tractor, but I don't. I want to get this done before it rains. No rain in the near forecast, but it's fall in Louisiana. It's going to rain sooner or later. So this is what, the southeast corner of the property here. We're probably about a third of the way through. It'd be nice if all of it was like this here, but I highly doubt it. First path cut through, and like I said, we're just going to maintain it over the next however long until we can figure out what we're going to do to clear all of this. So at least that way we can fence this in. I mean, there ain't a ton of stuff the cows are going to graze in here, but there are some open spots that we can get with the tractor. I mean, all in all, there's 50 acres and there's probably like 5 acres worth of grazing. But it does give us access to more of our land. And a big old pine tree. Let's see. I wonder if I can snake in there. But I can't. No. Definitely cannot. Right there, I know y'all can't see it through that dusty window. Cut that pine tree down, which is fine. Let me cut that down. Okay, got that out the way. So, keep moving forward. So those big pines that you see, some of them have a pink mark on them, but essentially everywhere you see a big pine is a quarter of the property. So our property got clear cut not so long ago, plus a timber company property right there, they clear cut it not too long before our land was clear cut. So the only really big pine trees on the border now are the ones that mark the border. We're just trying to cut us a path as close to that border as we can, and we'll basically make it so we can get around the property and eventually fence all this in. Tractor before. I think some of the bigger stuff like that pine tree. And see, this is some stuff too. We got these patches like this everywhere that I can come in and brush hog, especially once we have this path hitting us all the way around. That way I can come through, I can knock all that down, and basically we'll get us a bunch of little small patches of grass growing. So we can start to utilize this land before we got to get it all clear cut, because I don't know when we're going to be able to afford that. It's going to be a minute. Sun's in a bad spot. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to step out for a minute and try to figure out which way to go. Backwards is probably ideal. Okay, so we were right down there, right around that bend. I did some looking around, and the only option we had really was to go forward and to cut through here. So it did what we needed to do. However, we did have to shut down the brush hog because it got to the point where it was bound up. And the clutch started slipping. So we I will worry about cleaning all this up once we get the old tractor running. I think, because if you look through here, it's a little bit better. I'm gonna try to go down this way and get back to the wood line. So if you recall, over there I turned and started coming this way. This is just a washout area where we have hardwood, and so they didn't clear cut that. So I was just gonna try to make it around all this, but that just ain't gonna happen. So we're gonna no matter what, we got to find a way out of all this. So I'm gonna go this way and see if we can get back to the border of the property and continue doing what we're doing. Kind of go from there. Just kind of giving this clutch a minute to cool off. I don't know if it's coming through, but you can still see a little bit of smoke coming out of it. But oh, stressful times. So it'd be a lot more idea to have the old tractor, because if we tear up the old tractor, it really ain't that big a deal. This thing here, I definitely don't want to do that. So, but we're gonna head back that way. Make it back to the edge of the property over here. If not, we'll try to just cut a path out of here and call it good, and we'll come back with the old tractor and throw it. Dump all this out in the bucket. Oh man, just don't think it's going to happen with this tractor, because I don't want to go through all that stuff again. What we'll do is I'll try to get out of here and try to snake back to the middle of the road, or the road that goes to the back of the property, and maybe we come from the other side and see what that looks like. I don't know. We're going to focus on getting out of here now though. Alright, so all I did is back up from where we were, and I think there's a little trail going through here, so we're going to try to go that way. Just try to get back up to that road, go from there. Smaller stuff here, so I'm not as worried about it versus those trees. And we might just have to rent, I don't know, it might be worth just renting like a skid steer with a front mulcher for a day, and we can try to do around the edge of the property that way. That way we don't tear stuff up or come back here with the old tractor and fully charged batteries with the power saw. Because I came back here and I'm thinking about charging them, and they both had like 1 dot left, so I don't want to get to a point, like the batteries are still good, but I don't want to get to a point where they die and I still need them to get out. So if I can make it to that old rotted tree up there, I know there's a trail going that way because I brush hogged that a while back, and for some reason there's never trees in that trail, so it should be golden. Okay. So this tree right here, I used to want to put a deer stand on it because it's the back of the property for all this stuff growing up. And there's a trail that I used to brush hog going down this way. Sadly, before I could ever put a stand on this tree, it got struck by lightning and it's dead now. So it should be golden now, I think. Right there in between that tree, or those group of trees there. Or right on the other side, we're going to go in between those trees. So like this kind of stuff here, we can come in and brush hog all this. This is kind of what I was talking about. There's different little patches around like this. So I need to get the old fancy Ferguson fixed, especially, not fixed, but put a new battery on it. Especially with the it being fall and dry, this is like prime time to come back here and do this kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna have to suck it up and buy a new battery for it. It doesn't look like much, but this used to be a little road coming through here for the logging trucks. But you can see where that's where the back of the property, those tall pines. So we did that. That loop there. So I measure out a lot of my stuff on Google Earth. It's about 8 acres, an acre lap where we went around, I think. Maybe slightly more because we did come up at an angle here. It's probably about 10 acres. But yeah, wouldn't be near as stressed doing that stuff with the old tractor, so just gonna get the old tractor fixed up so we can do what we need to do. Just gonna have to suck it up and buy that battery. The roadway stuff here I can knock out because this is short stuff that I brush hog before. This is kind of what I was talking about before. So I mean, obviously we got trees everywhere, but throughout this 50 acres, there's just patches that look like this, short stuff. This is 100% stuff I can knock out with the old tractor. I mean, honestly, I'd feel comfortable knocking that out with the Kubota, but I got the old tractor for a reason, or kept the old tractor for a reason. I need to use it for that reason. You're not risk tearing up the brand new one. So, but y'all saw all that back there. So there's all this stuff too. So we can do some cleaning up. I mean, you could tell when you knock this stuff down, it don't look that bad. And this roadway is about that wide all the way back. It does get narrow towards the end. But see, like I could blast a path through here, no problem. And then this little path here goes back to where we were. It's just another zone. Not really sure why it did that, just the way it is, I guess. But some areas we got super dense trees, and in some areas we got this whatever this stuff is. So on the bright side, we didn't tear nothing up that I can tell so far. But we ain't gonna continue with the Kubota because we're gonna tear something up. It's gonna happen. Don't want to. This tractor's expensive. I do have the Kubota insurance, but the way that stuff works, it's great. But considering everything skyrocketed in price, so I bought this roughly 3 years ago. And so back then that was like a $38,000 tractor, and this was like a $10,000 brush hog. I have had to replace a brush hog once before. Sadly, I wasn't even doing stuff like this. I was doing simpler stuff, but the flex coupler had failed, had a defect from a manufacturer, I guess. Anyway, the way it works is you got a copay, and I think the copay is like $200 or something. But to give you an idea, when the brush hog self-destruct, I had to pay $200 out of pocket, and they replaced my brush hog. However, at that time, that's when we had the great steel shortage and COVID and all that great stuff. So it took a very long time. It took about a year to get another brush hog. We don't have that problem now, but this $10,000 brush hog is about $15,000 now. And the way it works is the insurance will basically pay $10,000 towards the $15,000 brush hog, so you still got to pay $5,000 out of pocket. However, my local dealer, super great company. I will continue to do business with them. They replaced my brush hog, and since it took a year, they didn't charge me the difference in price, just because they didn't feel like it was right. Because I mean, honestly, this stuff didn't look like this back then, and if I would have had it sooner, I might have been able to maintain this stuff a little bit better. But I went a year without really. I put the little brush hog that's on the old tractor on the back of the Kubota and used it, but you just 141 acres, you can't keep up with that little bitty brush hog. I mean, honestly, right now, since it's 50 acres back here, it's too big for me to brush hog. That's a great size because basically 90 acres I'm keeping up with it. But I'm brush hogging every single weekend. Versus in the future, once I get this one paid off, I do want to get another Kubota, a bigger Kubota with like a 15-foot or a 20-foot brush hog. Basically, just to be able to knock this grass down a lot faster, or weeds or whatever. But that's 4 years from now easily. I'll have to see how. Got to figure out this situation, because plan on like I said, coming through with the old tractor, and I'll get what I can get as far as like the overgrown brush and stuff, and we'll just leave the trees be. And I can carry that reciprocating saw. That way maybe I can cut open some more paths with it, and I don't know, we'll clear some trails through it basically so we can get around the property, and try to make the trails wide enough so we can just knock it out with a 10-foot brush hog. But we'll see. That's a later on problem. But we're gonna abandon this mission. Sucks to do that, but it is what it is. I mean, we got plenty of other brush hogging to do. I need to do the 20 acres. The section that's actually on the back 50 acres that I've done relatively recently, and it's about 2-3 acres maybe. We need to hit it again. And then, I mean, we got, I don't know, probably 20 acres at the front that needs to get brush hogged as soon as all the yellow flowers die off, which looks about another week or so. And we'll knock all that down too. So anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. We're gonna call it here. Appreciate y'all joining me on the farm today. A little exciting and stressful today, but all in all, tractor's still in good shape. We didn't tear nothing up. We call that a win. And we did get a little bit done, so that's cool. We'll come back with the old tractor. I'll get a new battery for it. We'll come back with the old tractor and we'll start chipping away at it and just slowly get there. All right, y'all. Talk to you next time.